We're standing by to review your thoughts on the show now as Kadi joins me for some of what you're saying.
Oh yes, let's walk through it, shall we? Let's start with, well, the big one. A lot of people woke up to their lines being barred across some network operators. But guess what, Bukola? And I know that you felt this as well. But it looks like NCC has reversed that ban or the barring of lines. You know, there's something they call right thing at the wrong time. And I think that was what this was for a lot of people, because we're on the verge of a potential protest. And then this happens, just like pouring petrol into a fire. So there you go. The NCC has ordered immediate reactivation of all blocked lines. Can I confirm if that has indeed worked?
I'm glad to report that my line has been unblocked and I didn't have to visit my service provider. It's curious because one of the reasons adduced was NIN linkage SIM issues. Yeah. But the first person talking this morning, Kadi, you have it?
Chris Ejiofor has the first one. Says the government has put a call immediately because this can fuel the protest even more if not taken care of immediately.
And John Benga says, I'm tired of our communication system in this country. What I seem to understand is that after linking my two lines with my name, they still went to block it. Why now? Because I have linked the two numbers over and over again.
So is anybody paying for the inconvenience if indeed you actually linked your SIM and then it was barred? Unduly. So all the reparations, those are conversations we also need to have as well. Shegun Goke is next, saying they better do not increase the anger of Nigerians. We're still facing hunger issues. So comment there was a tricky one.
Yeah, hunger and anger, they're not very good combinations. Let's go to the next talking point. This time, it's about fuel price increase as fuel depots run dry. And the first talking point is from ST Collins, who says, enter Lagos Road this morning, everywhere dry like dry. Everywhere dry like dry. I spent over 2 hours to get fuel this morning.
So this is the next user puts up an angle that is quite interesting. Whether or not this is sarcasm, we'll find out. It says it's even cheap compared to other countries. They should make it 3,500 naira per liter and diesel 6,500 naira per liter. So you can sense the sarcasm, I imagine.
Now this is costly sarcasm.
Oh, it is a very costly one.
This
is where you tell when the user says the president is doing perfectly well in Nigeria, one of the best governments he or she has ever seen. We get the sarcasm. And I think it's important for those in government, those in authority, to listen at the right time. Do not wait for the anger to build up. Then we'll start doing fire brigade approach, trying to quell all of the tension. Listen at the right time, ensure things are done fast, and we won't have situations like this in our hands.
As we manage time, on to the next talking point. Say no to protests. Protesters beam with smiles as they stage a peaceful protest in Lagos Island.
You should see those images,
yeah,
by
indeed.
the way. There you go.
Yeah, there you have it.
Say no, hashtag, say no to protest, hashtag. So there's a hashtag in front and the back, and then this is another one. You have different banners said to be representing various states of the Federation. Essentially, these people saying no to protest. So that's a pre-protest.
Okay, we'll see how that impacts on what will happen on August the 1st. But this first person reacting is Sulaiman Tajuddin, who says, saying no to protest by protesting, and he smiles with the emoji. This is really funny. Their demand should have been maybe no to violent protests. You really can't effectively stop people from protesting one way or the other. You can, however, attempt to effectively guide against violent protests.
One day we'll talk about the economy behind rallies. You know, there's an economy really, and we've heard politicians talk about how they mobilize.
And maybe a value chain.
Yeah, a value chain, right? And is it taxable or not? Because obviously money is changing hands. Take a look at what Emperor Caesar, that _Victor Robert says. So let me understand this. This user says, you can stage protest to say no to protest, but you can't protest for hardship and bad governance. This user is asking, what is really going on? But this user goes on to say, I'm not supporting any protest, but this say no to protest isn't the right way to stop people from protesting. Too much stop and protest in one. But anyway, that's all we have.
Protest to stop protest. Interesting. This next one is on President Bola Tinubu's directive to NNPCL to sell crude oil to Dangote Refinery and other local refiners in Naira. And RH Media says, This is good for us as a nation. We don't need to trade in foreign currency in our country. Let's add value to Nigerian currency. This one, I give it to you, Mr. President. When Nigerians are hungry, find something to do in order to tackle this ugly situation of the Nigerian economy.
You know, they say the devil is in the details. So what we'll do this morning is zoom in to that sector. I know they've always said it's quite opaque, but today we're unraveling it for you so you get to understand the implications of this one. This next user, Enokela_Ejiko, says, right step in the right direction. Do they have to wait for things to get this bad before doing what is right? This user says, anyway, kudos. Yet again, you know, there are issues that we need to, of course, unravel properly on this one. It's not just the Dangote refineries, so other refineries locally. And we can also talk about other producers or manufacturers like cocoa, for example. Cocoa processors in the country. We spoke to one of them who makes chocolate. He still buys raw cocoa in dollars here in Nigeria, where cocoa is produced. So we can talk about some of these other raw materials and ensure that government does the right thing in that aspect.
And so, as you say, the devil is always in the detail, and the way to hell, they say, is always paved with good intention. So we're going to walk that tricky journey and find out which devil is in the detail with
and
this
cast
conversation.
That devil out, right? As we always do here.
We'll try our best and try to identify them for you with our very first conversation on that directive by the federal government to sell crude oil to the refineries in Naira. Stay with us, we'll be right back.